Urgent, Chiefs Kingdom fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because we bring you daily videos with the latest Chiefs Kingdom news. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Chiefs hosted popular 6'5" draft target. Just before deadline report, the Kansas City Chiefs snuck one final prospect visit in ahead of the NFL draft. On April 17th, according to the Draft Network's Ryan Fowler, the New York Jets, Green Bay Packers. Chiefs hosted Washington State OT Isapol 65, 320 pounds, 34 arm for a pre-draft visit, per source. Fowler also noted that the very popular poll has received significant interest from the Washington Commanders, Indianapolis Colts, New York Giants, San Francisco 49ers, and Baltimore Ravens. Pohl is an intriguing offensive tackle talent that should come off the board a little later in the draft, and it's not just his 6'5" height. Per Fowler, the Washington State product failed to allow a sack in 498 pass pro snaps in 2024, and his plus athleticism has a lot to do with that. Potential Chiefs NFL draft target Isapol is a former basketball player that has light feet. The Athletics' Dane Brugler scouted Pohl within his comprehensive draft guide, The Beast, pointing out what makes him such a promising pass protector. A former basketball player, Pohl moves with light feet for a human his size, Brugler began. That talent is evident in pass protection, an area in which he took a major jump between his junior and senior seasons. Pohl shows the basic understanding of how to use his hands in all areas, but the muscle memory is still new as he figures out how to counter or recover from compromised situations, the draft expert continued. With all that in mind, Brugler did warn that Pohl is still very much a work in progress and needs to bank valuable experience. At the end of the day, though, nimble athletes with his size and strength are tough to find, he concluded. Pohl is worth a draft pick as a developmental option and practice squad candidate. Brugler graded Pohl as a likely 6th or 7th round prospect in 2025. He ranked the big athletic blocker 19th for all offensive tackles. How high will Chiefs draft offensive tackle in 2025? Whether or not Kansas City drafts someone like Pohl depends on two things. One, how high the Chiefs choose to bolster their O-tackle situation long-term, and two, how many bookend blockers they plan to select. The Chiefs do have some developmental prospects on the offensive line who are heading into year 2, like Kingsley Swamataya, Ethan Driscoll, Hunter Norzad, and C.J. Hansen. Not to mention recent prospects like Wanya Morris, Mike Caliendo, and longtime international player Chukwe Buka-Godric. So it's currently unclear how many spots general manager Brett Veach feels he has available to spend draft picks on. Is that answer 1? With several other depth needs throughout the roster, it certainly could be. Of course, a high-end OT draft selection shouldn't necessarily preclude Veach from doubling down on the position. As he stated on April 17th, the Chiefs' veteran contracts are reaching their ends at offensive tackle. Guys like Jalen Moore and Jawan Taylor will either need an extension in a year or two or a replacement, and it seems like Kansas City is hoping to get a contingency plan or two in place this offseason. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Chiefs Kingdom news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks, now let's get back to the news. Chiefs could swing blockbuster trade for $32 million Falcons Pro Bowler. The Kansas City Chiefs need to start thinking about life after Travis Kelce. Many questioned whether or not he would return for 2025, and he is clearly nearing the end of his career. Kelce has been a huge part of the Chiefs' success and will be a first-ballot Hall of Famer when he retires. He has put himself in the conversation to be the greatest tight end of all time. Whenever he retires, Patrick Mahomes will be losing his top target. Kelce started showing signs of decline last season, posting a career-low 823 receiving yards. The Chiefs could approach the Atlanta Falcons about a potential trade for Kyle Pitts. Pitts could help make up for some of Kelce's lost production this season while also learning from him. If the Chiefs like what they see from him in a tandem role with Kelce, they could explore extending him. Like Kelce, Pitts is an athletic tight end who can make plays after the catch. Pitts was the highest drafted tight end in NFL history and eclipsed 1,000 yards as a rookie. Unfortunately, inconsistent quarterback play in Atlanta has led to some lackluster seasons. He is set to play 2025 on his 5th-year option, and if the Falcons do not plan on resigning or extending him, they could be inclined to flip him for draft capital. Pitts had a 59-yard game against the Chiefs this season, which included a 50-yard grab. With consistent quarterback play and an elite offensive mind calling plays, the Chiefs could unlock his true potential. Pitts signed a fully guaranteed 4-year, $32.9 million rookie contract with the Falcons when he was drafted. The Chiefs could hold the key to him becoming an elite tight end in the NFL. If Steelers want to trade down, the Chiefs could be ideal partner. It takes two to tango. If the Pittsburgh Steelers want to trade down, someone has to trade up. In a draft class lacking top-end talent, accomplishing that goal might prove difficult, but the Kansas City Chiefs could become the perfect dance partner. In an ESPN column, Friday draft analyst Matt Miller reports the Chiefs could be looking to jump into the 20s. I've heard that the Kansas City Chiefs are actively looking to trade up in round 1. They signed left tackle Jalen Moore in free agency, but were otherwise quiet, opting to resign their own versus hitting the open market. A move up in round 1 would likely be for a long-term offensive tackle solution. I heard the goal would be to move in front of the Houston Texans number 25 and Los Angeles Rams number 26 if the Chiefs like a specific left tackle still on the board. Kansas City had a mess at offensive tackle in 2024, rotating through multiple starters on the left side. Rookie Kingsley Suamataia was given first chance but was overwhelmed, while street signing DJ Humphries battled injuries. In shades of Alan Faneca, the Chiefs ultimately kicked out guard Joe Thuney to left tackle to get them through the rest of the season, but even he is gone, traded to the Chicago Bears. The offensive tackle class is relatively weak but could offer viable prospects in the 20 range. Ohio State's Josh Simmons, Oregon's Josh Connerly Jr., and potentially even Texas' Kelvin Banks Jr., should he slide below projection, are all possibilities. Trading up would get Kansas City ahead of Houston and Los Angeles, two teams potentially searching for tackle help too. The Texans have a void after dealing LT Laramie Tunsil to the Washington Commanders, while the Rams are looking for RT Rob Havenstein's replacement, as he is 32 years old and battling injuries. The Chiefs have 3 day 2 selections, one in the second, round number 63 overall, and 2 in the third round, number 66 and number 95 overall. Giving up one of those selections, and potentially something else, in a trade with the Steelers is plausible. A potential deal could look like this. Pittsburgh trades number 21, number 156. Kansas City trades number 31, number 63, number 133. It would give the Steelers a second-round pick lost in the DK Metcalf trade and stack them with 3 selections in the top 100. They'd have 7 overall picks, a more normal set of selections to help fill their roster needs. Perhaps the biggest concern would be an additional note Miller made, suggesting the Minnesota Vikings at number 24 could look to trade down. Kansas City could get a cheaper price by moving up there while still leapfrogging Houston and Los Angeles. Since 2000, the Steelers have only traded back in the first round once. That came in 2001, Kevin Colbert's second year as de facto GM, moving down 3 spots from number 16 to number 19 and still landing Texas DL Casey Hampton, a home run selection. But Omar Khan has shown more flexibility in trades, making 2 in 2023, and the large gap between Pittsburgh's first and third round selections is obvious. When Khan had a major gap between the third and seventh rounds in 2023, he moved down 13 spots in round 3 to acquire a 4th and help bridge things. Predicting trades is unpredictable. Until offers are on the table and the draft board is set, who is available and who is taken dictates if deals get done. But if Khan is looking to move down the board, he should give Andy Reid and Brett Veach in Kansas City a call. Chiefs should trade offensive linemen. Now to add draft picks, with the addition of Jalen Moore, it is clear Wanya Morris has fallen out of favor with the Chiefs staff, and it has become time to move on. 2 years ago, the Chiefs selected Oklahoma offensive tackle Wanya Morris with the 92nd pick in the draft. Morris displayed great athletic ability and all the traits you want to see in an offensive tackle, as well as solid technique in his time at Oklahoma that made him one of my top 75 prospects in 2023. Unfortunately, things have not panned out the way that anyone has hoped for Morris in his time with the Chiefs. So far, Morris has started a total 15 games in his career, 4 in 2023 and 11 in 2024, but has really struggled to find a consistent role. Right now, the general understanding for Morris is he will be the backup swing tackle for the Chiefs, in case of injury, but I think other teams will value him more than Kansas City does. Wanya Morris trade, something Chiefs should consider. During 2025 draft, when it comes to having a swing tackle off the bench, I much prefer to have older guys with experience, who may be declining in their career. Guys like George Fant or Chris Hubbard toot stints playing both sides of the line and are still available in free agency. It is possible the Chiefs could look to move Morris around on the offensive line, as he is only 24 years old and has plenty of room to grow. Although I think with Morris' tall and strong build, he is best suited to be a tackle in the NFL. Yet his struggles as a starter might make it hard for him to get back into the Chiefs' starting lineup in the future, and another team may be more comfortable using him as a swing tackle. Meanwhile, moving Morris would allow KC to go in a few different directions, either seeking out a replacement in free agency or even scooping up a prospect who falls in the draft that's only 1 week away. All trades are heavily dependent on value, and I'm not saying the Chiefs should be looking to move on from him no matter what is offered. It is very hard to find experienced offensive tackles, and teams value those who fit that bill on the offensive line highly. If the Chiefs can get a 5th-round pick for Morris, however, it may be worth considering making the move. And now, Chiefs fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Chiefs. I'll be back any moment with more Chiefs Kingdom news.